Okay, now I want to talk about something incredibly valuable. In fact, this one short video and what I'm going to talk about and reveal to you is worth many, many, many times what you invested to be in this course. So pay close attention to at least just this one video if you don't pay attention to anything else. Website and traffic acquisitions. So there's a very valuable but hidden trend, I believe, that's happening online and what's really going to happen moving forward. I'm starting to see more of it. I've been involved with some of it, and I think there's a good opportunity now, but I think in a few years it's really going to be saturated and mainstream. But I recently helped a consulting client go from about $4 million in revenue per year to over $20 million in revenue per year with the strategy I'm about to reveal to you. So it's incredibly valuable. And it goes along with a lot of this competitive intelligence as we're figuring out where profitable traffic is coming from, how people are making their money, where they're generating their customers. So pay close attention. So I believe what I'm about to describe is going to become a very common traffic getting strategy. And for now, it's still a tremendous opportunity. So you've probably seen these ads before. You've probably seen these, right? These are Google Content Network or AdSense ads. Ads that can be displayed on partner websites, anybody's website. And they get paid when somebody clicks on the ad and they get a share of the pay-per-click revenue. The publisher, the person that hosts the ads, they get 68% of the revenue. Google gets the rest, 32%. So it's a great way for sites to make money. You've seen these text ads all over the internet. It's what's fueling a lot of the publishers online. So one of the things that you can do when you run Google AdWords, and you can run ads and pay-per-click keyword ads and contextual ads on the content network, you can figure out with your analytics which sites are sending you the traffic, which sites are sending you converting traffic, which sites are sending you profitable traffic. And Google allows you to determine which sites you want your ads to show on, which ones you don't. So obviously it's great that you can cut out sites that are unprofitable. So when you're doing competitive intelligence and competitive research and you're using some of these pay-per-click tools that we're going to cover, you'll see that some people are using all kinds of different content network ads, but you'll also see what sites they're running on. So once you figure that out, once you figure out which sites can be sending you that profitable traffic, now you're set up to make big profits from the content network. Once you figure out what sites are sending you that traffic, go direct to them and do a deal. So they're getting 68% of the click cost. Let's say the cost per click is $1. They're getting 68 cents. And Google's getting the rest. You could literally go to them and pay them 80%. So you could pay them 80 cents instead of 68 cents per click. And you're saving 20% because you were paying $1 because you're also paying for Google's cut. Now, that's one brief way you could go and immediately save money, but that's not what I recommend. The better idea is to buy some other type of ad on their site. And you may even get a cheaper pay-per-click cost. Now, just because they know, they're making 40, 50, 60 cents a click on some of those ads, you could just go to them and say, hey, how much to put a banner at the top of your homepage and on all your main pages? And they may quote you some kind of CPM price or something else, but if you know your metrics or you kind of split test your creatives, your banner ads, and you can get that, click-through rate going really well, then you can really drive down the cost per click because you're paying for those ads on a CPM impression basis. Now, if they want to do it on a pay-per-click basis, well, you can negotiate, potentially a cheaper click price than what you pay through the content network. But it gets even better than that. Now, but what I just described is a way to get a bunch of great profitable traffic and customers by going direct to sites that have the distribution to bring you profitable customers because they already have, remember, through the content network, small text ads, and we're looking at our analytics and we can see that. Now we want more of their traffic, more of their customers. Well, here's the big strategy. After you go direct and buy traffic directly from them, and after you test the traffic, confirm it converts consistently. So again, You're running ads that happen to show up as the text ads through the content network on the site. You see in your analytics it did convert, you make good profits, you made a good return. Now you go to them, you buy another type of an ad so you can test out more of their traffic. But once you realize that, hey, it's converting just like the smaller ads, then you buy their website. You make a move to buy their website, and you go at them as someone else, not as the guy that just bought a bunch of big ads on their site and now sees how much money the site's worth. Come at them as a completely different party and see if they're interested in selling their website. Now, a lot of sites are selling online in these different, websites for sale, that kind of thing. Some of them on eBay, but mostly on these websites for sale sites. Many of the sites will sell for 1 to 2 years worth of ad revenue. I've seen them sell for even 6 months worth of ad revenue, because a lot of these internet marketing people that build these sites, these content sites, that'll end up getting good search engine rankings and start getting traffic. They know that traffic can go away at any point. They know, or it can at least start declining, and so a lot of them will just get out. Now, some of those sites can end up generating that traffic for years and years and years. But often, if you owned that site, which is what my client did, is that you can get a much higher return with just the ads by really integrating bigger promotions into the site itself. So, let's say it's some kind of a review site that's talking about like dog training products or something like that. You can literally sponsor your own website with, big banner ads and videos and all kinds of stuff promoting your dog training products, for example, if that was your business. And you can often get your money back on the investment of buying the website in a very, very short amount of time. Now, I'm talking about, there are all different prices for websites. And what my client did is basically they went out and played a virtual game of Monopoly and started buying up all the different sites they could find that were owned by, little one-man businesses that built these content sites and were willing to sell them because they know they could go build more. And so it was like a game of Monopoly. They just started buying up all the little pieces like on the game board, so to speak, and building their traffic empire by buying up all these little kind of pieces of virtual real estate. Well, it's an incredible strategy because the amount that you pay for the site, you can often recover your money, like I was just saying a second ago, like very, very quickly. And so many of these sites, I'm not talking about acquisitions here for $100,000 or even $20,000. Some of these sites may make, let's say, $300 a month in AdSense revenue from that content network, and that's how they make all their money, $300 a month. So in a year, they make $3,600. Many of these guys or girls or whoever owns the site, many of them are willing to sell the site if you offered like $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000. And even though they're making the $300 a month in ad revenue, since you have a product that you've already figured out sells and converts from that traffic, you can make far more than $300 a month just selling your own product and keeping all the money and actually running larger ads on the site. Typically, if they're making about $300 a month from the ads, the little text ads over their site, I've seen clients make 5 to 10 times the return by just heavily promoting their own product on the site in a number of different ways. So if you could get a 5-time return and get $1,500, and if you paid $5,000 for the site, you'd get your money back in whatever that is, 3.5 months. And then you'd be basically making free money from that traffic forever. So it's an interesting thing about Google SEO and how they're really rewarding sites that have been indexed for a while. It's very hard now to kind of jump over sites that build authority and really get kind of ingrained in their results that have been around for a while. But there are sites that have been around for years and years and years that are owned by, these little marketers that don't make a lot of money. And they would gladly sell their site for a bigger payday than a few months worth of their income. So this is a strategy I really want you to start thinking about as you ramp up your existing business or maybe one of these new opportunities that you're going to learn to find in this class. You need to start thinking bigger like this. You need to start thinking about building your empire. And you need to start thinking about really growing your traffic. And this is one of the best ways, I think, online to do it. It's to really find these profitable, consistent sources for converting traffic, places that'll generate you customers day after day, and then go in and figure out what that's worth to you, and how you can buy the site from whoever has the site. Obviously sometimes people will be making $10, $20, $30,000 a month from their ad revenue, and they're not going to sell their site for less than $500,000 or more probably. So obviously, if you don't have a huge company, you can't afford to do that. But there are plenty of little sites that you could start with buying for a few $1,000s if you had that in your budget, and then you could buy another one, and then another one, and then another one, and then as you leverage the traffic to grow your income and grow your revenue, then you could actually put the money back in the business and start buying bigger sites with more traffic and for more money. And then it's just a perpetual cycle. So last thing to mention, just you obviously, in order to do this, you have to really have a good handle on your analytics. You have to have a good handle on your conversions. You have to have a good handle on where the traffic is coming from. You have to have a handle on, what your lifetime value of a customer is and your average customer, volume and customer sale is worth. But once you find a resource like a site through the content network that's consistently sending you customers that convert, you're sitting on a potential gold mine by going and doing a deal with them. So the cheapest deal to do with them is, again, try to buy, ads or sponsor their site in some way to get more traffic. Get them to run content on their site, get them to host some of your videos, whatever, and just pay them for them. Even if they're making $300 a month from the text ads and stuff, they may add a video to their site or some other ad to their site for you, just because they're thinking, or they even might though make more money, maybe on top of the $300. So lots of opportunity there. Something I want you to think about. This is a little more high level strategy stuff, but I wanted to just give this to you right away. Because if you have an existing business and you're already advertising in the content network, you need to go right now and look at your analytics and figure out which content network sites over the past month or two have sent you cash paying customers. And if you find one that sent a lot, you need to go and do a deal with that site as soon as you can and buy it, potentially, if you can afford it, before one of your competitors does. Because that's the trend that I see. I've been in this business for 20 years online. I have a knack for seeing all these trends up ahead, and I see that's what's going to happen. In many industries, there's consolidation that happens. There's like this kind of era of consolidation, and I think that's coming to the internet. As you start to see traffic prices going higher and higher from Facebook ads and AdWords and everything else, and from buying media, this will be a bargain. But smart marketers are going to start buying up sites and playing this virtual game of Monopoly, grabbing up all these assets that will generate traffic and customers. And then eventually websites will be worth more and more, and in order to buy them, it will cost more. But right now, there are tremendous cheap deals to be done buying websites and buying websites that have great traffic. So anyways, something to consider. And by the way, the downside of doing it, when you want to do your due diligence before you buy a site, you want to see their analytics over the last year. You want to see their Google AdSense, their content network revenue over the last year, how it's charted, to make sure it's not just plummeting because something happened with their rankings. But if it's consistent, in a worst case scenario, you're just going to generate the same revenue they did per month, even if your ads don't do anything. So you can kind of, put that into your equation and into your risk for doing these acquisitions. But definitely something you really need to think about.